Jemima Puddle-Duck lived in a small cottage with her 3 naughty ducklings, Rita, Rita, and Rina. She loved them dearly, but they often got into trouble with their mischievous antics. One sunny morning, Jemima decided to take her ducklings on a picnic to the nearby lake. She packed a basket with delicious sandwiches, fruits, and cookies. As they waddled along the path, Rita, the most curious of the trio, kept straying away from the group. "Rita, stay close," Jemima quacked. But Rita wouldn't listen. She spotted a butterfly and chased after it, flapping her wings excitedly. Rita and Rina followed Rita, and soon all 3 ducklings were running wildly, quacking and flapping their wings. Jemima sighed and tried to catch up to them. "Girls, come back. We're going to be late for our picnic." But they just wouldn't listen. The ducklings ran through the grass, leaving a trail of squelched mud behind them. They stumbled upon a small pond and, without hesitation, jumped right in. Jemima rushed after them, worried they might get hurt. "Rita, Rita, Rina, get out of there this instant." The ducklings splashed and played in the water, completely carefree. Jemima couldn't help but laugh at their antics. She coaxed them out of the pond, and they shook their feathers, sending water droplets flying everywhere. As they continued their journey, Jemima told them stories about her own childhood adventures. The ducklings listened intently, their eyes wide with wonder. They passed by a group of rabbits, who twitched their whiskers and said hello. After a while, they reached the lake, and Jemima spread out a colorful blanket. She unpacked the basket and handed out sandwiches and fruits. The ducklings ate greedily, making happy quacking noises. As they ate, Jemima reminded them to stay close and not wander off. But Rita, Rita, and Rina just exchanged mischievous glances. After lunch, they asked Jemima if they could go exploring again. Jemima hesitated but eventually agreed, keeping a watchful eye on them. The ducklings ran ahead, discovering hidden streams and secret meadows. Jemima followed, making sure they didn't get into trouble. As the sun began to set, Jemima called out, "Time to head home, girls. It's getting late." The ducklings reluctantly followed Jemima back to their cottage. As they settled in for the night, Jemima tucked them into their cozy beds made of soft feathers. "I love you, my little ones," she said, giving each a gentle nuzzle. "We love you too, Mummy," the ducklings quacked in unison, snuggling into their beds. Jemima smiled, feeling grateful for her little family. She knew that taking care of her naughty ducklings was a big responsibility, but she wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. The next morning, Jemima woke up to find the ducklings had gotten into mischief again. They had made a mess of the living room, knocking over vases and scattering feathers everywhere. Jemima sighed, laughing despite herself. "Girls, what have you done now?" The ducklings looked up at her with innocent faces, their beaks smeared with jam. Jemima couldn't stay mad at them. She cleaned up the mess, and they helped her, quacking apologetically. This routine continued day after day. Jemima taking care of her ducklings, teaching them right from wrong, and loving them unconditionally. The ducklings grew up, learning valuable lessons and spreading joy wherever they went. As they grew older, they began to help Jemima with household chores. Rita became an expert at gathering eggs from the farm. Rita developed a talent for gardening, and Rina learned to bake delicious treats. Together, they made their little cottage a warm and welcoming home. Jemima felt proud of the strong bond they shared, and the ducklings knew they could always count on their mother's love and support. Years passed, and the ducklings grew into responsible young ducks. They still had their moments of mischief, but Jemima was always there to guide them. She knew that her job as a mother was to prepare them for the world, and she did her best to teach them valuable life lessons. One day, a big storm rolled in, bringing heavy rain and strong winds. The ducklings huddled together, frightened by the loud thunder. Jemima comforted them, wrapping her wings around them. "Don't worry, my dears. I'm here. We'll weather the storm together." The ducklings felt safe with Jemima by their side. They listened to her soothing quacks, feeling the warmth of her feathers. As the storm passed, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a beautiful rainbow across the sky. Jemima and the ducklings watched in awe, feeling grateful for the beauty of nature. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as a family. And so, Jemima Puddle-Duck continued to take care of her naughty ducklings, teaching them, loving them, and guiding them through the ups and downs of life. The ducklings grew into strong, confident ducks, and Jemima couldn't be prouder of the family they had become. The story of Jemima and her ducklings would continue, filled with laughter, adventure, and the unconditional love of a mother for her children. As the days went by, the ducklings continued to grow and learn new things. They made new friends in the farm, like a wise old goose named Gertie, who taught them about the importance of honesty and kindness. Rita, and Rina would often help Gertie with her gardening, learning about the different plants and flowers that grew on the farm. They loved listening to Gertie's stories about the farm's history and the animals that lived there. Jemima was happy to see her ducklings making friends and learning new things. She knew that socializing with other animals was essential for their development, and she was grateful to have such a supportive community on the farm. One day, the ducklings asked Jemima if they could have a party to celebrate their growth and the new friends they had made. Jemima agreed, and they started planning the party. They invited all their friends from the farm, and Gertie offered to help with the preparations. The party was a huge success with games, food, and music. The ducklings had a wonderful time, and Jemima was proud of the people they had become. She knew that she had done a great job raising them, and she was grateful for the love and support they had for each other. As the party came to an end, Jemima looked at her ducklings and felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She knew that she had raised them to be kind, honest, and responsible, and she was confident that they would make their way in the world. The ducklings continued to grow and thrive, and Jemima was always there to support them. She knew that she would always be their rock, their confidant, and their guiding light. Years went by, and the ducklings became even more mature and wise. They took on more responsibilities on the farm, helping with the chores and caring for the other animals. Jemima was proud of the young ducks they had become, and she knew that they would always be there for each other. The bond between Jemima and her ducklings grew stronger with each passing day. They would spend hours talking, laughing, and sharing stories. Jemima knew that she had created a loving and supportive family, and she was grateful for every moment they spent together.